Hey guys, so the last time that I really properly drifted before going to Japan was around 2013, and back then I had a 180, CA18, and I was okay. I would pull off the good sort of run here and there, but most of the time I'd spin out. I never really got car control down too greatly. Fast forward, 2023 actually, I ended up buying myself a racing sim, or starting to buy myself a racing sim anyway. And I started stuffing around with the Assetto Corsa and doing a little bit of drifting on there. And I ended up becoming pretty good at it, and I enjoyed doing it heaps. So I got more sim stuff and expanded on my sim, and now it's this crazy thing that I'm about to show. But I didn't realize until Japan how much it had actually improved my ability to drift in real life. I didn't think it was going to translate over to the degree that it did. I was very shocked with how good I felt that I was drifting in Japan, which honestly pushed me to, when I got back, to really wanting to get back into drifting. And hence why I want to try and tackle the L2 series in the South Australian State Series. But in this episode, I'm going to run through my sim, all the bits and the parts, how it works, the computer, just everything about it. So yeah, let's dive in. So this is my sim that I have. It has semi-motion, so it's got what's called a seat mover. This is a Next Level Racing seat mover. The whole seat moves and everything, not the whole rig. The seat is to simulate the movement that you would be moving when in the car. I have a SimMagic Alpha Mini, which is a 10 Newton meter wheelbase, which I think for drifting is plenty, considering that I only put it down to about 40% at most when doing drifting anyway. I have a V&M shifter, a V&M hydro, and V&M pedals. And if I'm honest, these things here are on the cheaper end of the spectrum, but they have been rock solid from day one. I have three 38 or 39.5 inch screens that are slightly curved. They work really well, apart from the white borders, but when you're drifting after a while, you don't even look at them. The seat is an OMP Champ-R. This was out of a drift car that I was building and never really got to drive, so there's that too. I've got a couple of speakers down here, which are just a couple of sound bars that are wired in. And then I've also got the computer out the back. Now the computer is a Intel 12th generation. I think it's a 12600KF. Can't remember. Does the job really well. It's actually got a NVIDIA 4060 Ti, which works really well with Assetto. I get around 80 frames per minute. Some spots I get more, but it works good enough. And now we'll dive into what we actually use. So the program we use is Assetto Corsa. This is called Content Manager, which is like a program that sort of uses Assetto Corsa as a base and then takes, I guess, the game and does other things with it. So, we've got, lots of drift cars. The Gravy Garage cars, which are these ones, are very good cars for drifting. In this, there is hundreds upon hundreds, if not thousands upon thousands of cars that you can quite literally download off the internet that people make themselves, and the list is literally never ending. The best part about stuff like this is I can actually get tracks that I would actually drive on. For example, I have the Bend Motorsport Park and all the different layouts of the series that we do, or I'm going to be doing. I have JDM X Park, for those of you who know. It's a little small track down in Mambray Creek. James is a really good bloke. He's the owner. I've got tracks like Malala on here. I've got the whole Ebisu complex, so I can drive around the whole Ebisu complex, which is awesome because it is exactly the same as driving around Ebisu. I've got everything, and you can download hundreds and hundreds of different tracks, and it just never ends. So there is so much that you can do on here. It's amazing. But we'll load up Ebisu and we'll go for a drive. Alright guys, so here we are at Ebisu, and this is the car. The beauty of this sort of program is you can go through and you can change all kinds of setups. You can change the gears, change what types of tyres you're using, the fuel load, electronics. Pretty much everything is changeable on it. But the car is pretty well set up, so don't nearly need to do anything. Let's put the steering wheel on. Let's double check that. That's good. Good to go. So basically that's what we're looking at. And my seat isn't working because of course it's not. So we're going to turn it on. So the seat has to be activated. There we go. Now we got some movement. Alright. So with Ebisu, head up here, we'll go up to North Course. And this is the track that I drifted on when I was in Japan. So actually being able to drift on there before going there on the sim, I think had its benefits. Because I was definitely felt pretty at ease on the track, if I'm honest. Alright, first lap. That wasn't too bad, but I think I can do better. That's better. Well, a little bit too far out. Managed to salvage it. Go for one more. Coming a bit shallow there, but all good. I guess one of the best things about the sim is there really is no repercussions when drifting. You can hit the wall, you can fuck up immensely, and there's no real car that you're breaking. But the transition from sim to real car is unbelievable. I actually felt like when I was drifting in Japan, the car was actually easier to drive than the sim was. And I think that's purely because you have more feedback than you do when you're on the sim. So on the sim, you're only really getting feedback from your hands and feedback from your ears. So you really got two senses. Whereas when you're in the car, you get feedback from your hands, you know, your whole body movement in the car, your eyes, your ears, everything. So I think it's just, you learn on the sim to work with less, and then when you've got more, it's like everything's just that little bit more heightened. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but if you drift on the sim and you're thinking about trying in a real car and you're pretty good on the sim, chances are you're going to be pretty good in a car. It translates over that well, in my opinion. So we're going to hit up Nishi for a couple of laps. I never got to drive Nishi in Japan. Wish I did though. It's a bit shallow there. Super wide. That was a bit rough. But the best part is you can fuck up. And that's it. The car's destroyed. But then I can just go back to the start. No repercussions. And you practice to your heart's content. So yeah, that is drifting on the sim. So if you guys like this video and want to see more of what I'm doing with my drifting and all kinds of things, don't forget to like and subscribe, and here's some more drifting of the sim. Dum, dum, dum. Limiter bash that thing. Disappeared. Let's get on this guy's door. Well, he needs to find a track before I can get on his door. No, too close.
wide. It's really hard to get it to run.